You remember the briefing. A single slide on a massive screen. It showed a point of light in an ocean of black. They called it Blackstar Point, a place no ship had ever gone, no probe had ever returned from. The signal came from there. It was not a language. It was not math. It was a call, a pure, simple beacon, a whisper across the void that promised discovery. And so they sent you, the best navigator in the fleet. You were chosen to thread the needle, to guide the starship Wanderer to that single point of light. You were meant to be the first. You are not the first to awaken. That much is clear. The cryopod hisses open with a final, lonely sigh. Cold air bites at your skin. The med gel feels like a layer of frost. You sit up slowly. The pod bay is silent. The lights are on, a low, emergency blue. But the usual sounds are gone. No hum of life support. No chatter from the med station. No cheerful voice of the ship's, "Hey, I'm welcoming you back to the world." There is only a deep, profound quiet. A quiet that feels wrong. A quiet that feels empty. Your training kicks in before the fear. You slide out of the pod. Your legs feel unsteady, like a newborn colt. Standard cryo sickness. You grab the handrail and steady yourself. You look around the bay. Every other pod is open and empty. Captain Ava Rostova, Dr. Aris Thorne, Engineer Jin Sato, all gone. Their med readouts on the pod doors are flatlined, not dead, just inactive. As if they simply stepped out and walked away. But their jumpsuits are still folded neatly on the cots beside their pods. Nobody goes anywhere without their suit. You call out. Your voice is a rough croak. "Hello?" The word is swallowed by the silence. "Ava? Aris? Anyone?" Nothing. Just the faint echo of your own voice. It bounces off the cold metal walls and comes back sounding small. Scared. You know you should not be scared. You are an officer of the Human Exploration Corps. Fear is a luxury you cannot afford. But your heart hammers against your ribs anyway. A frantic drumbeat in the vast, silent concert hall of the ship. This is not protocol. This is not a drill. Something is terribly wrong. You make your way to the locker. Your own jumpsuit is there, waiting. It feels familiar and reassuring as you pull it on. The tough fabric, a second skin. The insignia on your shoulder, a stylized star, gleams in the blue light. You are Navigator First Class. Your job is to know where you are. Right now, you have never felt more lost. You strap the multi-tool to your belt. Its weight is a small comfort. You find a nutrition paste in the emergency locker. It tastes like chalk and vague berries. Just what you needed. You force it down, your stomach churning. Food is fuel, and you have a feeling you are going to need a lot of it. Your first stop is the bridge. It's a long walk down the main corridor. The emergency lights cast long, dancing shadows. Every corner you turn feels like a jump scare waiting to happen. You half expect to find the crew floating in the zero-G sections, or worse. But there is nothing. Just empty space. Empty rooms, an empty ship. The mess hall tables are clean. The gym equipment is stowed. The observation deck is a wall of silent, unblinking stars. It is a ghost ship. And you, it seems, are the ghost. You finally reach the blast doors to the bridge. They should be open. They are not. A red light pulses above the access panel. Access denied. You frown. Only the captain can lock the bridge. And even then, your credentials should grant you secondary access. You place your palm on the scanner. The light stays red. The screen flashes a message. Command override in effect. Security Protocol Zeta. You have never heard of Protocol Zeta. It's not in any of the manuals you memorized. You memorized them all. A little joke you had with the captain. She said you swallowed the library. Right now, you wish you had. You use your multi-tool. The access panel cover pops off with a soft click. Wires and circuits greet you like a nest of metallic snakes. This is engineering's job. Jin would have this open in 10 seconds. He would probably make a bad joke about tickling the ship's nerves. It will take you a lot longer. You carefully bypass the primary lock. Sweat beads on your forehead. One wrong connection and you could fry the entire door system, or worse, trigger the defenses. You do not want to find out what Protocol Zeta's defenses are. After what feels like an eternity, the lock clicks open. The red light turns green. The heavy doors hiss aside. The bridge is even quieter than the rest of the ship. The air is still and cold. The main view screen is active. It shows the velvet black of deep space. And in the center of it, a single, brilliant point of light. Blackstar Point. So you made it. You are here. But the victory feels hollow. You walk to the navigator's station, your station. The leather of the chair is cold. You slide into the seat and the console flickers to life. It recognizes you. A small wave of relief washes over you. The ship still knows who you are, even if you're not so sure yourself. You check the ship's logs first. You need to know what happened. The flight recorder is active. But the crew logs are gone. Wiped, not just deleted. Professionally, surgically scrubbed. There is a gap of 3 weeks. From the moment you were all supposed to enter cryosleep to now. 3 weeks of missing time. 3 weeks of nothing. The ship's chronometer confirms it. You have been asleep for the scheduled duration, but the ship has been awake and busy. Power logs show massive energy spikes, unscheduled course corrections, firing tests of the point defense cannons, all performed without a logged user. The ghost was busy. Then you see it. On the long-range sensors, an alert is blinking. It is a calm, unobtrusive little light. A silent alarm that has been trying to get someone's attention for hours. You bring it up on the main screen. The image resolves slowly. The view screen pixels knit together to form a shape. And your breath catches in your throat. It is not a ship. It is not a station. It is too big, too perfect. A colossal structure hanging in the void. A shape that defies all known principles of star science and engineering. It is a perfect geometric object, a massive obsidian hexagon. It seems to drink the light of the distant stars. Its surface is impossibly smooth, no windows, no engines, no visible technology at all. The scale is staggering. Your little wanderer is a grain of sand next to this mountain. The sensors struggle to even calculate its mass. The numbers just keep climbing, a string of digits that your brain refuses to accept. It dwarfs anything humanity has ever built. It dwarfs any alien artifact ever discovered. It is impossible, and it is right outside your window. You stare at the screen. The hexagon just hangs there, silent, imposing, majestic in a terrifying way. Is this what the signal was? Is this the source? Your mission was to make contact, to follow protocol. First, contact procedure is clear. Step 1. Do not be hostile. You think you can manage that part. You are currently the least hostile person in the universe. Step 2. Send a greeting. The standard package. A message of peace. A summary of human knowledge. The periodic table. A recording of whale songs. The usual. It always felt a little silly. Sending whale songs to a potential alien intelligence. But protocol is protocol. You initiate the sequence. Your fingers fly across the console. The motions are automatic. A lifetime of training taking over. You compile the first contact package. You aim the focused comms array at the center of the hexagon, and you send it. A tight beam of radio waves, a whisper of friendship sent out into the silent dark. You hit send, and you wait. You are not sure what you expect. A reply, silence, to be vaporized by some unseen weapon? Your mission profile included a 90% chance of catastrophic failure. It seemed like a fun statistic back on Earth. Less fun now. The reply is almost instantaneous. It is not a sound. It is not a radio wave. It is a feeling. A pressure builds inside your skull. A wave of pure, raw information washes over you. It slams into your consciousness with the force of a physical blow. Your vision whites out. The bridge dissolves into a sea of light. There are no words, no images, just data, concepts, star science and history and emotion, all compressed into a single, overwhelming burst. It is like trying to drink the entire ocean through a straw. Your mind reels. You grip the arms of your chair to keep from falling. The pressure recedes as quickly as it came. You are left panting, your heart a frantic bird in your chest. The view screen flickers, and the data begins to resolve. The pure information slows. It coalesces. It is no longer an assault on your senses. The ship's computers are working overtime to translate, to give it a form you can understand. On the main screen, the formless data knits itself into an image. It is not an image of peace. It is not a picture of a welcoming alien species. It is a fleet of warships, not the hexagon, another fleet entirely. They are brutal, jagged things, all sharp angles and menacing weapon ports. They look like they were designed by a nightmare. And there are thousands of them, a swarm of metal locusts ready to devour a galaxy. You recognize the designs, not from any current threat reports, from the history archives. They are ships from the forgotten war, a conflict so ancient, so devastating, it was almost myth. A war fought between star-faring races long before humanity ever looked to the sky. A war that supposedly ended eons ago. But the ships are there, pristine, deadly. The image is a recording, but it is also a warning. The data stream continues to flow. The alien message is not just a picture. It is a story. A new image forms. This one is different. It shows beings of immense grace. Tall, slender figures made of something that looks like woven light. They are beautiful and strange. The data stream provides a name that your mind struggles to pronounce. But the ship's translation matrix gives it a label you can grasp. Elder Ones. This is who sent the message. The inhabitants of the giant hexagon. The data reveals they are not the enemy. They are the survivors. The last remnants of a civilization that fought the jagged warships and lost. Their history unfolds on the screen. A saga of impossible scale. You see worlds of breathtaking beauty turn to glass. You see fleets of silver ships, much like their own forms, shattered by the brutal enemy. You see a galaxy-spanning empire fall to ruin. The message is a desperate plea, a story of brutal, relentless conquest. The enemy, a race known only as the Scourge, consumes everything. They leave nothing behind but dust and echoes. The Elder Ones have been running for millennia, hiding in the dark spaces between galaxies. Their giant hexagon ship, their home, their ark, is all they have left. And the Scourge has found them. The data stream shifts again. It focuses on you, on the Wanderer. It shows your ship arriving, a tiny, insignificant vessel in the grand scheme of things. Then it shows you something that makes your blood run cold. It shows your crew, Ava, Aris, Jin. They are not dead. They are not missing. They are safe, held in a state of suspended animation, not by cryosleep, by something else, a field of gentle golden light. The Elder ones explain. They hid your crew. They needed to speak with the ship's navigator, the one who understands paths and destinations. They needed to speak with you alone, securely. They could not risk the Scourge intercepting their plea. They feared your crew would react unpredictably, with fear or aggression. They had studied humanity from afar. They knew your history, your potential for greatness, and your potential for violence. They chose to isolate the one mind they believed could understand. The strategist, the pathfinder, you. They saw the patterns in your navigation logs, the elegant, efficient routes you charted. They saw not just a pilot, but an artist. They believed that artistry could be their salvation. It's a lot of pressure. You were just hoping to not get lost and maybe discover a new space amoeba. Now you are the chosen one for a species of light beings. No pressure at all. Then comes the final part of their message. The choice. The screen shows two possible futures. In the first, they release your crew. They wipe your short-term memory of this encounter. They give your ship a gentle push back towards human space. You would return home a hero. The navigator who reached Blackstar Point and came back. You would never know what you had seen or what you had left behind. You could go home. Forget the warships. Forget the beings of light. At last, forget the coming storm. The second future is less certain. It shows you staying. It shows the Wanderer flying alongside their massive ark. It shows the Scourge fleet arriving. The data is clear. They will be here in less than 12 hours. The Elder? Ones have no more tricks, no more places to run. They are powerful, but they are not warriors. Their technology is for creation, not destruction. They believe you are their final hope. They believe a human mind, a different way of thinking, is the only thing that can save them. Stay and fight a mythical, galaxy-devouring swarm, or go home and have waffles. The choice seems pretty obvious from a sane person's perspective. You look at the screen, at the two paths laid out before you. Home or war, ignorance, or a final, desperate stand. Protocol has nothing to say about this. No manual has a chapter on choosing the fate of an ancient alien race. Your mission was to make contact. You have done that. You could complete the mission and go home. No one would ever blame you. In fact, no one would ever know. But you would know. You would see their faces, the elegant, sorrowful beings of light, every time you closed your eyes. You would hear their silent, desperate plea in every quiet moment. You think about human history, a long, bloody story of gambles, of small forces defying overwhelming odds, of clever traps and brilliant strategies, of hope forged in the darkest of times. The Elder, ones are builders, creators. The Scourge are destroyers. It is not a difficult moral equation. You make your decision. It settles in your gut with a feeling of absolute certainty. It is terrifying. It is insane. It is probably a death sentence. But it is the right thing to do. You open a communications channel, not with radio waves. You focus your thoughts, your intent. You push it towards the great hexagon, hoping they can hear you. I will help you. A wave of something that feels like relief washes back over you. Not data this time, just pure, unadulterated emotion, gratitude, hope. The pressure in your head eases. On the main screen, a new set of schematics appears. It is a detailed map of the Blackstar Point system. It shows the star itself, a volatile, unpredictable pulsar. It shows asteroid fields, gravity wells, nebulae thick with charged particles. It is a death trap, a navigator's worst nightmare. And it is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. You see not just dangers, you see opportunities. You see a chessboard. The elder ones see a random collection of star-born hazards. You see a weapon. You begin to work. This is what you were born to do. Not just steering a ship from point A to point B, but seeing the unseen paths, understanding the rhythm of the cosmos. You formulate a plan, a human gambit. It is audacious. It is risky. It relies on perfect timing and a level of courage you are not even sure the elder ones possess. You start sending instructions, not in words, but in vectors, in trajectories and velocity calculations. You are drawing a new path for them, a path that leads directly into the heart of danger. You need their ships, all of them. The elder ones have a small fleet of silver, teardrop-shaped vessels. Scout ships, they call them. Fast and agile. Unarmed, of course. But fast. You need them to move into a precise formation. A hidden net woven through a dense asteroid cluster. A place no sane captain would ever take their fleet. They need to power down everything but their receivers. They must become ghosts, as silent and invisible as your own ship was when you woke up. The plan is simple in its terrifying complexity. Lure the scourge into a kill box. A trap sprung not with missiles and lasers, but with the raw, untamed power of the system itself. The elder ones comply without question. Through the view screen, you watch as their silver ships move. They follow your commands with a grace that is almost balletic. They weave through the spinning rocks and ice chunks. They tuck themselves into the shadows of colossal asteroids. They form the pattern you designed, a crescent formation hidden from any sensor sweep. It is a trap made of gravity and physics. The bait is their arc, the giant hexagon. They will move it to the edge of the system's primary danger zone, right next to the Blackstar itself. It will look like a cornered animal, helpless, irresistible. You check the chronometer. 6 hours until contact. The silver ships are in position. The arc is moving slowly, deliberately, into its role as the bait. Everything is set. All that is left to do is wait. The silence on the bridge returns. But it is a different kind of silence now. Not empty. It is filled with tension, with anticipation. You find yourself pacing the bridge, walking from your station to the view screen and back again. You run the calculations one more time, then a third time. The math is solid. The strategy is sound. But it all depends on the enemy. It depends on them being arrogant, overconfident. It depends on them taking the bait. A new alert flashes on the sensor board. This one is not quiet. It is a blaring, angry red. They are here. The view screen updates. A tear in space opens up. A ripple of distorted space-time that is ugly and violent. And from it, the Scourge fleet emerges. It is just as the elder ones showed you. A swarm of jagged, monstrous ships. They are even more terrifying in person. They pour into the system like a tide of black metal. They do not bother with caution. They do not perform sensor sweeps. They simply charge forward. Straight for the giant hexagon. Straight for the bait. A grim smile touches your lips. They are arrogant. The Scourge fleet closes the distance with terrifying speed. Their weapons begin to glow with malevolent energy. They are preparing to obliterate the Ark. To finish the extermination they started millennia ago. From your vantage point, you can see both fleets. The silent, hidden crescent of silver ships, and the charging, screaming horde of Scourge vessels. The enemy is moving directly into the center of the trap. The geometry is perfect. The timing is now. The Elder Ones are waiting for your signal. The fate of their entire civilization rests on this single moment, on your command. You take a deep breath. Your finger hovers over the console. This is it, the human gambit, the moment of truth. You are not a soldier. You are a navigator. But today, the path you chart leads through fire. You send the signal, a single encrypted pulse. Now, across the system, hidden in the asteroid field, the silver ships come to life. But they do not power up weapons. They power up their engines, all of them, at the exact same instant. They do not fire a shot. They simply ignite their drives at full, unimaginable power. For one single coordinated second, it is not an attack. It is a precisely calculated gravitational push. The combined thrust of the entire Elder fleet, focused on a single point, they are not pushing the enemy ships. They are pushing the asteroids, the carefully selected colossal rocks they were hiding behind. The sudden, massive shift in gravity creates a cascade effect, an avalanche of rock and ice, a wave of kinetic energy. It thunders through the kill box, moving at thousands of kilometers per second. It is a tidal wave made of mountains, the Blackstar's wrath, unleashed by your design. The Scourge fleet has no time to react. They charged in blind, expecting a helpless target. They found a landslide in space. The first wave of asteroids hits them like a physical blow. Smaller ships are pulverized instantly, turned into expanding clouds of shrapnel. Larger vessels are crippled. Their shields flare and die under the relentless bombardment. Hulls crumple, engines explode. Chaos erupts in their perfect aggressive formations. They are caught completely, utterly, by surprise. Their arrogance has become their undoing. But the trap has a second part. The kinetic wave was just the opening act. The massive energy release from the Elder ship's engines and the destruction of the Scourge vessels has an effect on the unstable Blackstar. The pulsar, already a seething ball of electromagnetic fury, reacts to the sudden flood of energy. It pulses. A wave of radiation, a blast of pure stellar anger, erupts from its core. It washes over the battlefield. The damaged Scourge ships, their shields already down, are helpless. The radiation fries their systems. It tears through their hulls. The silent killers are silenced for good. The battle, if you can call it that, is over in minutes. The Scourge fleet is broken. The few ships that survived the asteroid wave and the pulsar's blast turn and flee. They tear another ugly hole in space and disappear. They came for a final, easy victory. They were handed a devastating, inexplicable defeat. The silence that returns to the system is one of victory. A costly victory. The view screen shows the wreckage. A graveyard of twisted metal where a proud fleet once flew. But the Ark is safe. The silver ships of the Elder Ones emerge from the asteroid field, battered but intact. They have survived. A new message comes from the hexagon. Not data this time. A single clear voice in your mind. It is a voice that sounds like ancient bells and starlight. You have saved us. The relief in that voice is a tangible thing. It fills the bridge. It fills your soul. Then, the voice continues. And what it says changes everything. It is time you knew the truth, Navigator. The truth about your own people. The main view screen changes. It no longer shows the battlefield. It shows a swirling galaxy. It zooms in on a familiar spiral arm towards a small, yellow star. The image is from the deep past. It shows Earth, but not the Earth you know. It is a world of shining cities and star-born vessels. It shows humanity as a young, vibrant member of a galactic community. a community that included the Elder Ones. You were not newcomers to the galaxy. You were one of the first. You were there when the Scourge first appeared. You fought alongside the Elder Ones in the Forgotten War. You fought with a ferocity and a strategic brilliance that terrified even the Scourge. Humanity, the Elder Ones explain, was the galaxy's greatest warrior. The war cost you everything. Your worlds were destroyed, your fleets shattered. In a final, desperate act of preservation, the last human survivors were placed on a single, hidden world. Earth. Your memories were wiped. Your technology was buried. You were given a chance to start over, to grow again, free from the memory of that terrible conflict. The Elder Ones became your silent guardians, watching from afar, hoping you would one day reach for the stars again. The signal from Blackstar Point was not a random call. It was a test, a question, to see if humanity was ready to remember, to see if that ancient spark of brilliant strategic fire still burned. The revelation is staggering. You stare at the screen, at the images of a lost golden age. Your entire understanding of your place in the universe is shattered and rebuilt in an instant. You are not a plucky upstart in a vast old galaxy. You are the sleeping giant, the forgotten champion. And your crew? The Elder Ones explain they are being awakened now. Their memories of the missing time will be hazy. They will be told there was a system malfunction, a story you will have to corroborate. For now, the truth is for you alone. You stand up from your chair. You look out the view screen at the great, silent hexagon. You are no longer just a navigator. Your single, desperate gambit has done more than save a species. It has re-established a link that was severed eons ago. The voice of the Elder One speaks in your mind one last time. The Scourge will return. They will not forget this defeat. But this time, they will not face a galaxy of scattered victims. They will face an alliance. And you, Navigator First Class of Earth, have just become its first ambassador. The Bridge of the Wanderer no longer feels empty. It feels like the beginning, a new beginning for you and for all of humanity.